Welcome to the Franklin County Varsity Sports Report. Live for the next half hour, join us as we provide you with all the scores, news, and updates to everything Franklin County sports. And now, here's your host, Bobby C.
Hello there and welcome to the Franklin County Varsity Sports Report. I hope everyone's doing well here today. Well, as you can see, I'm wearing my Red Sox shirt. Why? Red Sox and Rays, baby, in the best of 5 as they knocked off the Yankees in that big wild card game. So trying to feel the spirit here on the set today. Want to say a big thank you to our underwriters here today. Thank you so much to Franklin First Federal Credit Union. You know, if you're just a resident of Franklin County, you can be a member there, franklinfirst.org. Also, you're looking for some great appliances? Well, you're going to find it at Manny's. Manny's TV and Appliance, located on River Street in Greenfield and on Route 9 in Hadley, and by Lisa Alber of Alber Hearing Services, our local audiologist. Yeah, she's been around for just about 30 years. You can contact her at alberhearing.com. Well, let's get right to our show here today. We want to let you know that a week ago Monday, in a field hockey game between Frontier and Turner's Falls, it was all Frontier as they picked up the 7-0 win. You know, 6 different Frontier players put the ball in the back of the cage as they ended up coming up with that nice win. And Emily DeMeo ended up scoring twice. Shelby Clark, Summer Sobieski, Maeve Hewitt, they all had goals. Now, Lily Markey, also Lila Roach, they ended up with penalty stroke opportunities to score. And we must tell you that the best part about this is that this Frontier team is playing good right now. Another team that's playing very well in field hockey is the Franklin County Tech girls. And they ended up taking on Hampshire a week ago Monday, where the Eagles, their 6-game winning streak, well, guess what? It came to a close, and it came to a close because of a tie, 1-1 with Hampshire. We could tell you that Lily Ross had the only tally for the Franklin County Tech School, and that was an assist also on that goal by Caitlin Trudeau. So yes, technically, they haven't lost yet this season. Northampton picked up a 5-1 win over Mohawk in field hockey a week ago Monday. Emmy Sissom, well, she was the lone warrior tally for that game. And by the way, Sophia Grisner, she ends up with 11 saves for Mohawk in the loss. Well, in volleyball a week ago Monday, it was Frontier taking on Westside. It was 3-1. Frontier picks up the win. Jillian Apanel, her and Lila Evans ended up finishing with double-digit kills in the win. Also, Apanel ended up with not only that, but how about 6 aces? Evans ended up with the 10 kills during the day. Caroline Dean, well, she ended up with 5 kills and 5 aces. Eve Dugan ended up with 6 aces, and Sydney Scanlon distributed 39 assists in the victory for Frontier. Well, Turner's Falls continues their winning ways in volleyball. A week ago Monday, they ended up beating Marhar. Final was 3-0, and Emily Young led the way with 15 aces and 2 kills. She had a great game for her team. Also, Taylor Green, how about 11 aces for her? She dished out 6 assists. And Abby Holloway ended up with a pair of aces and kills in the win for Turner's Falls. Well, it was Mohawk picking up a 3-0 win over Pioneer in volleyball a week ago Monday, where Octava Crawford smashed 5 kills and 4 aces to lead Mohawk to that 3-0 win over Pioneer. By the way, Palmer King, well, she ended up with 7 aces and 3 assists in the win. Ellie Patnode and Hannah Plesner, they ended up with a pair of kills as well for Mohawk. We also want folks to know that Kayla Gothier ended up with a kill, a block, and a dig, and Whitney Dunkley put down a kill. Aiden Wall had 5 digs in the loss for Pioneer. Well, we want to let you know that we have lots of information to share with you here on the show today. And back in golf, a week ago Monday, it ended up being East Hampton picking up a 14-10 win over Pioneer. And Pioneer's had a very good year this year in golf. They have made the tournament. Well, a week ago Monday, where they ended up getting beat 14-10, we could tell you that it was a nice day for Mike Stennons. That's right, he ended up having a nice day with a 43. He, in the number 4 spot, was able to get points for his team. Jalen McGraw shot a 50. Ethan Mothie ended up with a 52. Braden Thayer ended up with a 54. Ben Werner ended up with a 55. And Cam Curtis ended up with a 57 in the loss for Pioneer. Well, Turner's Falls picked up a victory over Greenfield 20.5 to 3.5 a week ago Monday. Jackson Day ended up with a 54. Grady Derry ended up with a 52. Braden Talbot with a 56. Darian Burnett ended up with a 53. They all earned points for their team. The medalist was Joey Mosca. That's right, he ended up with a solid day. Dylan Archer ended up with a 43 as the low person for Greenfield, and also Hugh Sajowski ended up with a 49. But unfortunately, it was all Turners in this one, 20.5 to 3.5. Franklin County Tech picked up a win over Hopkins Academy, 22.5 to 1.5 in golf a week ago Monday. Tell you right now, this Franklin County Tech has a very good golf team. Matter of fact, they kept their unbeaten streak going as of last Monday at 8-0. Well, we want you to know that Brady Buska was the medalist with a 37. Anthony Zager was a 43 in the number 2 spot. Also, Gabe Mata with a 44. Aiden Bailey with a 46. Alex Sulda with a 49. Also, William Belville also had a chance to win his match in that match for the Tech. Well, I want you to know that it was a 12-12 tie between Mohawk Trail and Westfield Tech in golf a week ago Monday. Phineas Tutman ended up shooting a 50 for Mohawk. And I must say that also Oliver Johnson and Logan Moore, well, they carded 52s. Also, Douglas Wilcox ended up with a 55, Gage Patnode with a 61, and Grady Patnode with a 66. Well, we want you to know that in girls soccer, Frontier, Greenfield. Well, it was 5 Frontier, Greenfield nothing. Frontier girls scored a pair of first half goals, and then they put in 3 more in the second half. Michaela Santos scored Frontier's first goal to give Frontier the early lead. Then they scored again at the 31st minute, where Jillian Warden ended up blasting a shot outside the box to give Frontier the 2-0 lead going into the half. By the way, they ended up scoring 3 more. Solid effort for Frontier. Well, Pioneer, they ended up beating Gateway 7-0 as Haley Ring made her presence felt in Huntington back a week ago Monday. That's right, scoring a hat trick, dishing out a couple of assists. She had a solid day. Ring opened up the scoring with a pair of goals, both assisted by Lucia Saviano. Also, Layla Hillman and Saviano both had a chance to score again before the half. Solid outing for the girls at Pioneer. Also, we had a boys soccer matchup between Franklin County Tech and the Hampden Charter School a week ago Monday. Another game, another impressive performance by David Kempler. That freshman has had a great year. How about a pair of goals and dishing out an assist in that 5-1 win to be able to keep his team going? What a solid year he has had so far. Granby picked up a 5-2 win over Greenfield. Granby, one of the top teams in the state, believe it or not just Western Massachusetts. Granby picked up that win over visiting Greenfield. Theo Pop, well, he ended up getting a goal. Henry Zakara, he ended up scoring in the second half. Solid performance in the net by Anthony Penichetti. All right, we got girls volleyball that happened back on Tuesday, where Turner's Falls ended up taking on the Greenfield girls. Turner's Falls continued their winning ways, sweeping their rival. Final was 3-0 on Tuesday as Emily Young continues her great play. 11 aces and 3 kills in the win. Maddie Lamatanian had 7 kills and 3 aces. Taylor Green, well, she ended up with 6 aces and a kill, and Abby Holloway ended up with 4 aces and a kill. Olivia Stafford, she had 4 aces and 4 digs in the victory for Turner's Falls. Charisma Santana, she ended up with 3 kills and 2 aces for Greenfield. Kelsey Richardson ended up with 2 kills, 3 aces and 4 digs. Nice job right there also by Rory Townsend. She ended up with a kill and 3 digs in the loss for Greenfield. Well, the Franklin County Tech girls, they ended up beating Athol in girls volleyball back on Tuesday. Final was 3-1. Faye Smith ended up putting down 10 kills along with 3 aces and 2 blocks. A solid performance for her. Lillian Poirier ended up with 8 digs, 4 aces, 2 kills, and 3 assists. Also, Maddie Jackson ended up with 2 kills and 5 digs. And Maria LaBelle ended up with 3 kills for the Tech. Well, in boys golf on Tuesday, it was Pioneer taking on Turner's Falls. It was all Pioneer in this one. Final was 19.5 to 4.5. Jalen McGraw, well, he earned 3.5 points for his team. Also Braden Thayer, Michael Stennins, and also Ben Warner all scored 4 points for their team. By the way, Ethan Mothie, he ended up with 3 points. Chris Curtis, he also got a point for his team. Darian Burnett ended up with 3 points that he ended up getting for Turner's Falls. Grady Deary ended up scoring a point, and Joey Mosca ended up getting a half point in the #1 spot. Well, in boys golf, it was also Mohawk Trail picking up a victory over Sabas. Final score on Tuesday was 14.5 to 9.5. Logan Moore ended up with a 51. Doug Wilcox with a 61. Both scored 4 points to propel Mohawk to that victory. Also, we want to let you know that Ben Thompson with a 52 and Phineas Tubman with a 57 also had nice days, as well as Oliver Johnson with a 55 for Mohawk. They all scored a point. Well, East Hampton picked up a lucky win as far as I'm concerned. It came right down to the last part of it, and it really was a nice lucky shot, but that's all it takes sometimes, right? As East Hampton picked up a 13-11 win over Greenfield. Dylan Archer posted the top score of a 42 for Greenfield, but East Hampton pulled away by picking up that big win. Johnny Marhefka ends up with a 49, Matt Lavoine with a 53, and Hugh Syhowski with a 64. They all scored points for Greenfield in the loss. In field hockey, after tying 1-1 back on Monday, well, on Tuesday, the Franklin County Tech girls picked up a 4-2 win over Amherst. That's right. That was a big win for them. And how about this? 31 shots on goal, 22 penalty corners, solid solid outing for this team. Also, they received goals from Lily Ross, Kiera Stevens, Emmy Thurston, and also Hannah Gilbert ended up getting an assist in the win. Well, in girls soccer, it was Greenfield with an 8-0 win over Pathfinder. They pulled off a nice win on Tuesday, but there was a milestone in that. Emmy Savoy ended up securing her career milestone of hitting 100 points. Congratulations goes out to Emmy Savoy. Well, her and her team did everything they needed to do to pick up the win. Well, Pope Francis picked up a 12-0 win in girls soccer over the Franklin County Tech. Emily Merritt made 16 saves for the Franklin County Tech. Also, in boys soccer, it was Frontier 2, South Hadley 0. It was an offensive charge that started the second half that gave them the win when they were tied 0-0 at the break. So it worked out very well for them. Ended up scoring and lighting it up was Tyler Dubriel. He ended up lighting up the scoreboard in the 42nd minute, and that was off of Karen Bright. And then 10 minutes later, Fernando Sierra Villa. He ended up with a nice shot that ended up scoring a goal off an assist from Dubriel and gave them the win. Well, in cross country, it was Mohawk. They just barely beat Frontier in boys cross country 28-29. They also beat Pioneer 18-37. Dennis Simmons set the tone for Mohawk. He had a solid outing back on Tuesday. Simmons blazed right through the course in a time of 15 minutes and 25 seconds to get first place. Also, Frontier, with the nice easy win, were able to get other guys that were able to get in there as well. You know, there were a couple of other runners for Mohawk that were pretty impressive. Sean O'Day ended up taking third. Vincent Gauthier, he was fourth. Emmett Johnson took 8th. Boy, what a solid win for them. And then Luke Howard for Frontier ends up 2nd. Patrick Boyden, 5th. Eric Brown, 6th. Also, Amaroy Moxie, he ends up 7th. And Oliver Brown takes 10th. Frontier picking up 29 points, but unfortunately, it was Mohawk with 28 to walk away with the victory. Greenfield picked up a 25-33 win over Gateway. Eric Badillo ended up with a 3rd place finish. Ethan Bross ended up in 4th. Andy Bostrom in 5th. Gianni Pasiglia ended up 6th place. Jackson Karen 7th in the win for Greenfield. In girls cross country, it was Frontier picking up an easy win over Pioneer 17-47. They also beat Mohawk 15-46. Very solid outing right there. Good job by the ladies from Frontier. Abigail Howard ended up in first place. Leah Gump got second. Also, we want folks to know that there were other girls who were able to get it done for the other schools as well. Big congratulations goes out for the great job that was done by Frontier in that tri-match. Greenfield Candace Liu, well, she was first place to finish the finish line for her meet against Gateway. And also they took on the Hampton Charter School in East Hampton. Ava Fortin ended up fourth overall as Greenfield ended up winning those. In boys golf, boys golf, I want you to know, folks, that there was a special tournament, the two-ball tournament, that took place at the Ranch Golf Course in Southwick on Wednesday. 27 teams from around Western Mass were able to participate. Franklin County Tech's team of Gay Mata and Anthony Zager, well, they tied for 16th out of the 27 teams. That's right, in a pioneer duel of Jalen McGraw and Braden Thayer, they ended up shooting an 81. Mohawks duo of Ben Thompson and Phineas Tutman, they took 25th out of the 27 teams with a 93. Well, in boys soccer on Wednesday, it was Smith Academy picking up a 7-2 win over Greenfield. That's right, it turned out to be a pretty solid outing for them. You know, the best part about this is that Greenfield has been able to really improve their soccer program over the years. Now, years ago, that team struggled just to be able to get wins. Well, they played a very good and talented Smith Academy team, and they did get beaten this one 7-2. Well, their coach said it clearly. This is a young group. We have a lot of 8th and 9th graders. It's tough when you play against older kids that have a lot more experience than we have. Speaking of that, 9th grader Jackson Campbell ended up putting the ball in the box, where Theo Pop ended up being able to head one in, and he was able to score 2 goals for Greenfield in that 7-2 loss. Well, the PVCICS ended up with a 7-0 win over Mohawk as Connor Herzik ended up making 12 saves in the loss. Want to let you know that Smith Voke ends up taking on the Franklin County Tech School, and Smith Voke ended up winning that one 4-1. Sam LaSure, well, he ended up being the guy that ended up getting a goal, and it was assisted by David Klempler. In girls field hockey, Greenfield picked up a 5-0 win over Turner's Falls in that big rival game on Wednesday. Matter of fact, Lily Kacklemeyer, well, she scored a pair of goals. Lucy Postera, her and Bree Widello, Mackenzie Pollen, well, they all scored in the victory as well. Josie Cloutier, Maddie Kacheski, Ivy Ray, well, they got assists for the Wave. Katie Wozniak ended up with 11 saves in the loss, and Ainsley Flynn with a pair of saves in the win for Greenfield. Frontier picked up a 5-0 win over Westside. Ashley Taylor had herself a day in South Deerfield. She tallied the hat trick that really carried her team. Ella Flanders, she only had to make 1 save in the net. What a solid outfit it is down there in South Deerfield. They have a very good field hockey program. Well, Pioneer and Athol, and ended up being a 0-0 tie. Kelly Baird made 2 saves for Pioneer in that field hockey game. Well, in girls soccer, it was Hampshire with a 3-1 win over Frontier. Michaela Santos, well, she was the one that ended up finding the back of the net for Frontier, but other than that, it was all Hampshire. CC Green ended up with 22 saves in the loss. Lee picked up a 5-2 win over Pioneer. Another girls soccer game in Haley Ring, her and Layla Hillman, they found the back of the net for Pioneer. Also, Sienna Hillman, she ended up picking up an assist in the loss. Lee ended up with a nice win over Frontier. Final score was 3-1 as they got back into volleyball action. Earlier this year, it was Frontier that got the best of Lee. Well, this time it was Lee over Frontier, 3-1. Also, Mohawk ended up with a 3-0 victory in volleyball over Marhar. Octava Crawford had 4 kills, 5 assists, and 3 aces to lead Mohawk to be able to continue some winning ways. Palmer King recorded 7 kills, 5 assists, and 8 aces in the win. Well, on Thursday in girls volleyball, it was Athol taking on Greenfield, and it was Athol picking up the 3-0 win. Turners Falls picked up a 3-0 win over Pioneer as Taylor Green knocked down 10 aces, tossed in 16 assists to be able to help her team. Maddie Lamatanian with 6 aces and 10 kills in the win. Abby Holloway ended up with a trio of aces and kills. Also, we want you to know that Ilana Rediker ended up with 2 kills in the loss for Pioneer. Wacona picked up a 3-0 win over the Franklin County Tech in girls volleyball. Also in boys golf, it was Pioneer picking up an easy win over Turners, 18.5 to 5.5. Braden Thayer's 43, Michael Stennon's 45, Ethan Matthews 43, Ben Werner's 52. All scored 4 points for Pioneer in that win. By the way, Jalen McGraw, well, he ended up with a 45 and Cam Curtis with a 59. Joey Mosca was your medalist for Turners Falls with a 39. Ware ends up picking up a big win in Franklin County Tech. Their golf team took their first loss of the year as they got beat 18.5 to 5.5. By the way, that was over at Thomas Memorial Golf Course in Turners. Brady Buska with a 43, Gabe Mata with a 45, Aiden Bailey with a 49, Jake Schuler with a 49 also took points for the Tech school. Well, looks like girls field hockey continued, and it ended up being quite a little match between the Franklin County Tech School and Mohawk. Yep, it was another tie this week for the Franklin County Tech girls. Final score was 0-0. In girls soccer, it was the Franklin County Tech picking up their first victory of the year. Yeah, ladies. Final score was 8-2 over Duggan. Big congratulations goes out to them. Jay Batinsky says that they worked really hard, passed the ball well, took advantage of those chances, and yes, let's hear it, the Franklin County Tech girls' first victory of the year in girls soccer. Well, Greenfield ended up picking up a big win, and I mean a big one, over Smith Academy after getting beat by them earlier this year and trailing 1-0 at the half. They came up with 2 big goals. As Amina Sesajanin tied the game at the 55th minute of the game with a nice header. And also, I want you to know that her sister, Eldarina Sesajanin, scored the game winner with 12 minutes to play off an assist from Emmy Savoy. What a nice win for Greenfield. In boys soccer, it was Frontier. They are one of the top teams in the state, folks. Look out, Division 5, Frontier with a 5-2 win over Marhar. They struck early, they struck often, and were able to pick up that big win. Well, high school football, that happened. Friday night football is a big deal around here. Greenfield picked up an easy 36-14 win over Athol. Needing a spark, the Green Waves defense came to the rescue. They did, as Braden, I'm going to tell you something right now. Brendan Driscoll has become a superstar for Greenfield. And who would have thought a kid that goes to Turners Falls would be a superstar representing Greenfield? Well, he ended up doing a special thing. How about returning it 94 yards in the first quarter? Ryan Palzeri, well, he had a 1-yard touchdown run after that great interception, 6-0 Greenfield. Then David Carey, their quarterback. 2-point conversion is good, 8-0 Greenfield. Then Greenfield's Drew Conant. He recovered a fumble at the Athol 39. And all of a sudden, 8 plays later, Joey White scores from 3 yards out, 14-0 Greenfield. By the way, it just got better and better from there. Ryan Palzeri got an interception with 7:45 to play in the second quarter. Returned it 55 yards to the house. 20-0 Greenfield. 2-point conversion toss from David Carey to Brendan Driscoll. Makes it 22-0 Greenfield. The Green Waves scored also a couple of long drives in the second half. Carey was able to find Ty Griswold for a 9-yard touchdown with 1:10 left in the third quarter. Joey White also got the 2-point conversion. At that time, it was 30-8 Greenfield. The Green Wave responded with a dagger as Joey White plowed through from 3 yards out with 3:36 to play. Greenfield picks up the 36-14 win, undefeated right now, and they got a huge game. Yep, they take on Palmer. All right, don't forget Franklin County Tech. They ended up picking up a win against Marhar. Final score was 21-0. Also, Lee ends up beating Frontier 19-14. Well, we hope you enjoyed our show. I got to tell you, we're very fortunate to be here every week. Franklin County Varsity Sports Report, brought to you by Franklin First Federal Credit Union, Albert Hearing Services, and also our friends at Manny's TV and Appliance. Support your local athletes and have yourself a great week, everyone.